Distinct lines L and M lie in the xy plane. They intersect at the origin. Point P, -1, 4, is reflected about line L to point P prime. And then P prime is reflected about line M to point P double prime. The equation of line L is 5x minus y, and the coordinates of P double prime are 4, 1. What is the equation of line M? So we can draw this out. So it'll be the xy plane. So line L, that's the same thing as y is equal to 5x. So that line, it goes through the origin. Look something like this. And then -1, 4 is where P is. So that'll be somewhere like here. So that's P. And then P double prime is 4, 1. So that'll be about here. Okay, so to find P prime, that's going to be the line. We need to draw the P prime has to be on the line that's perpendicular to line L. So again, this is line L, and goes through -1, 4. So that perpendicular line is going to be like that. So it'll be like somewhere there, and we need to find that point. So I already know, since the slope of line L is 5, we know that the slope of this perpendicular line has to be -1/5. And so then finding the equation of this line, what we can do is use point slope form, since we know -1, 4 has to be on the line. So y minus 4 equals negative, that's a 1/5. Solving this out, so we get y is equal to -1/5 x plus 19/5. So that's the equation for that line. Next, we want to find the intersection point between the perpendicular line and line L, because once we find that, then we'll know the change in y and change in x to get there, which will then allow us to find the change in y and change in x to get to this point. So to find that, we're going to set these two equations equal to each other. So -1/5 x plus 19/5 is equal to 5x. And solving that out, so we get 19/26 is equal to x. So y is equal to 5 times 19/26. So y is equal to 95/26. So that point right there is the coordinate 19/26, 95/26. Then what we'll want to do is find the change in y and change in x to get to that point. So the change in y going down from 4 to 95/26 is going to be, since 4 is 104.26, the change in y going down is going to be negative 9.26, and the change in x going over, we're going from negative 1 to 19.26. Change in x is going to be 45/26. So then we'll just do the same thing, the same change in y and change in x to get this point P prime. So doing that, if we go from 19/26, 95/26, the change in y, applying these changes in y's and change in x, we're going to get the coordinate 64/26, comma 86/26, and simplifying, that's the same as the coordinate that'll be the same as so applying 45, so that'll be 32/13, and next it'll be just making sure, yeah, 32/13 and 43/13. So now that we're there, this is point P prime. So line M is going to be some line like this. And so we're going to find the equation of line M. But basically a point on line M is going to be the midpoint of point P prime and point P double prime. So to find that midpoint, so that we can find a point on line M and then solve for the line, that's going to be, the coordinates of that will be, it's going to be just making sure I have this right. So yeah, 32/13 plus 52/13, which is 4/2, comma 43/13 plus 13/13/2. And from there, we get the coordinate 42/13, comma 28/13, and simplifying. So this coordinate right here that's also on line M is 42/13, comma 28/13. So we know 2 points on that line are 0, 0, because we know it goes through the origin, and 42/13, comma 28/13. Since a point goes through the origin, we know that the slope is just the change in y from 0, 0 to that point, 42, 13, 28, 13. So it's going to be, this is the slope of M, 28/13 over 42/13. And in simplifying that, you get 2/3. So the equation of line M is going to be as follows. It's just, since the slope is 2/3 and it goes through the origin, it's going to be y is equal to 2/3 x. And getting it, if we get it in standard form, that's going to be 3y is equal to 2x. And then it's going to be moving to standard form here. 2x minus 3y is equal to 0 is the equation of line M. So 2x minus 3y is equal to 0. So the answer is choice D.